The recent verdict by South Africa's Constitutional Court essentially means that South African men may soon start using their wives' surnames if they wish to.
I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Mbata.
South Africa's highest court has ruled that husbands can take the surnames of their wives, overturning a law that barred them from doing so. In a victory for two couples who brought the case, the Constitutional Court ruled that the law was a colonial import that amounted to gender-based discrimination.
Section 26(1)(a) to C of the Births and Deaths Registration Act 51 of 1992 is declared unconstitutional to the extent that, in violation of Section 9(1) of the Constitution, it violates irrationally on the ground of gender, and to the extent that, in violation of Section 9(3) of the Constitution, it unfairly discriminates on the ground of gender by failing to afford a woman the right to have her spouse assume her surname, failing to afford a man the right to assume the surname of the woman after marriage, failing to allow for a married or divorced man or widower to resume a surname which he bore at any time, and failing to allow a man, whether married or divorced, or a widower, to add to the surname which he assumed after the marriage any surname which he bore at any time.
After getting married, Henry wanted to adopt Yana's surname, Jordan. Yana had expressed emotional connection to the name. During registration of the couple's new surname, South Africa's Department of Home Affairs told Yana and Henry that it was impossible for a man to assume his wife's surname under the South African law. The department added that only a woman can adopt her husband's surname.
What guys traveling in 2025 have to understand is that in some form or fashion, they will be greeted with feminism. It may be of different types than you're used to, but when everyone has a smartphone and somewhat fast internet, products and ideas from around the world spread very quickly, and many of those are directed and created in Hollywood. So, of course, we know that if they've watched The Acolyte or any myriad of shows like Sex and the City, they know about how American women do. That said, this story out of South Africa is essentially a question as to should we continue the tradition of men giving their last names to women and women essentially taking their husbands' last names. And history has been written.
Aggrieved by that pronouncement, Yana and Henry filed a case at South Africa's High Court. In its ruling, the High Court agreed with the couple, saying that dismissing a man who willingly wants to adopt his wife's surname constitutes a breach of gender equality rights. It was thereafter that Yana and Henry sought to regularize the ruling by filing a petition at South Africa's highest court. In a similar matter, which also ended up in the South African Constitutional Court, Andreas Nicholas wanted to change his surname to that of his wife, Jess Donnelly. The application was initially rejected. Jess said she wanted to continue using her name, Donnelly, to retain familial ties. She is her parents' only child. The recent verdict by South Africa's Constitutional Court essentially means that South African men may soon start using their wives' surnames
if they wish to. One might think that there was a bit of anger in this ruling, but let's just say that our brothers in South Africa, they have a sense of humor. A good one.
Did you guys notice how when they announced the new law that men can take their wives' surnames, men immediately started talking about how much money they wanted for their lobola and becoming Mr. M? Although the law has literally nothing to do with that, men immediately took it that far. And that should tell you something. It's telling us that if you ever want a man to take your surname, you will have to go all the way. It's not just about him taking your surname and it ends there. It means that you will have to propose to him. You have to pay your lobola for him. You have to be the provider of the family.
Going down a rabbit hole of responses to the Supreme Court ruling in South Africa, we can see a large number of gentlemen simply saying, does this mean that men are the prize now? And if men were the prize, how would men act? Could we simply show up and be of value? The common theme that you could see in many of the TikToks was simply, I'm valuable just because I'm here and I'm being showered with gifts. All I have to do is a bit of cooking and cleaning and people will come to me and offer me gifts saying that just me being who I was born as is good enough. There is a jovial sense of delight in many of the men in the videos suggesting that I don't have to work. I can just be someone that cooks and cleans and is the helpmate to someone and I get money for it. Sure, I'll take it. Center around the fact that I'm born, I have value, I'm wonderful, and my job is to drive up my price as high as I possibly can, because I am finally the table. We need 10K allowance per month. My money is my money, her money is our money. We've heard that before, haven't we? A lady says, the men must cook, clean, scrub, take care of the kids. If I'm providing, the food must be there when I come home. Response, gladly. This post simply says, it's our time, gents. 1,000 likes. Another response, I'm like skinned, so I deserve the best. 1,100 likes. A young lady says in Zulu, the one who is complaining will not receive any allowance. The response, what's your surname, mama, so we can avoid marrying into the wrong family. And the oldie but goodie, what do you bring to the table? I'm the table.
This is deeper than what it looks like, and we're finally going to see the results and consequences of not wanting a patriarchal system. There is no more indoda must, I need a man that will do this, a man must pursue me, because there is no system that's going to support you or stand with you. And I hope you ladies are ready for that.
I have to admit that many of the responses were very amusing. I laughed quite a bit. What most of the guys are saying is that as a woman, it's your job to just really be born, be there, and be pretty. The guy shows up and he has to demonstrate that he can pay for you, and then he has to continue to pay for you after you get married. And essentially, it's his job to make more money than you, and it's his job to pay for you. In this new environment, what the joke really is that, well, if you're not even going to take my last name, then you're saying we're going to rip all of the rules up. And you can understand the level of angst in the last young lady's voice, because she's saying, if you rip up the old system, then you're going to essentially be out here on your own, because guys are going to be, well, saying that they're the prize, and that's going to raise the stakes. Because what happens when you don't have any kind of patriarchal system looking after young ladies, especially when they have children? It's not as orderly and as safe as we like to think it might be, especially in this new environment where we can see our own economy getting a little more shaky and offering less to people that are struggling.
Oh, y'all, look at my babies. Okay, my daughter getting her, no, let me not cuss, my daughter getting her stuff together, y'all. Y'all see her over there with her baby, doing her homework. She ain't asked me to get them yet. I'm still waiting on that. When you gonna ask me to get them? Oh, okay. I'm trying to see, because you've been doing good. Period. I'm so proud of her, y'all.
What's most sad about this clip, aside from the fact that it's a girl in the first day of 8th grade, missing 8th grade because she has a child, but she is in an environment where her mother is praising this to the point where she puts it on social media. But really, my question is, the support system that was there in the past for a young mother like this, it's not there anymore. And the young lady from South Africa, she knows when you don't have a support system, that means there are simply some things that you cannot do and survive. And my question in this particular situation is, how is this young girl with this baby and this mother praising her going to survive? Because you know there are no men of authority anywhere near this messed up situation.
My little babies. Look at him snoring. Wait, this is so cute. Like, for real though. Let me get that bottle. Go ahead. She need to hurry up and get my grandson. He's snoring, girl. He's not too.
This is an illustration of what happens when you have an environment where you just don't have any rules and you don't have any men in the vicinity to kind of create order. These young ladies are depending on the fact that first, mom is going to be able to keep her job, because if mom loses her job, then basically the three of them are going somewhere begging for mercy somewhere. And if that happens to be the state, then that's one thing. But if you're in an environment like other places, say South Africa, where you know the state is not going to take care of you, you know that you need a man, a patriarchy, to be there to be the ground floor, because otherwise it's just you're at the will of whatever is outside your door. The real reason I think the young lady from South Africa was so alarmed is because She sees guys saying, essentially, you have told us that patriarchy is oppressive and that it has no value. So let me just take a step back and not protect and provide because you don't want tradition. Because, quite simply said, many young ladies are probably going to need a man in their life sooner or later to just help them. I mean, that's just the way things have always been. Maybe things might be different in the future, but for time up until now, this young lady here in most of human history could not survive without a guy there in some form or fashion. But if you're in a state where they're going to give you resources to take care of a young child and you don't have to have a father there, then that's one thing. But what happens when you get a generation of guys who have been told that their patriarchal offerings are oppressive, and they start making jokes about the fact that, oh, we're going to do away with tradition? Cool. It's your turn to chase me. It seems like a joke in the beginning, but the alarm has reason. If guys start acting that way, then young ladies are going to get a real taste of what it takes to do life by yourself. I'm not saying that young ladies can't do it. What I'm saying is we're going to see in our lifetimes the first time many young ladies are doing it. And what's that going to look like? We don't know yet. But when guys say that they're the table, oh, that's going to change the whole shebang-a-bang. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.